Bristol Dirt, LA Coliseum, Gateway, you name it. It seems like every time we have an inaugural event in the NASCAR Cup Series, it's Joey Logano getting the win. He has once again won an inaugural event in the NASCAR Cup Series, and this is the second time that he has had to hold off Kyle Busch to do it. Back at the LA Coliseum, he had Kyle Busch chasing him down late before he was able to pull away and win that one. And today it was a little bit more difficult. Restarted second on that last restart. Had to take the lead back from Kyle Busch after losing it on the previous restart. And they had a little good battle there going to the end before the last caution to send it to overtime. But yeah, and then Logano eventually got past him. In my opinion, Kyle Busch kind of blew it there. Busch had the inside line. He was trying to do a slide job on Logano. He went really deep into the corner, but went too deep, slid up the racetrack, and lost the lead, and couldn't get back to Logano in time. So, you know, Kyle Busch just pushing a little bit too hard at the end there, but it was Joey Logano getting the win today, his second win of the season. This time he does it cleanly, of course, back at Darlington. He ran over William Byron to win. This time he does it cleanly, passes Kyle Busch cleanly, races him cleanly to win. But yes, of course, the whole topic of first ever race at Gateway, Wide Technology Raceway, St. Louis, whatever you want to call it. It's been run for the trucks, Xfinity, for years now. It hasn't run the Xfinity the past few years, but it has been for the trucks. And it's always been talked about. What if it went to the Cup Series? Well, it came to the Cup Series this year. And boy, oh boy, the racing was actually pretty all right. But what happened in today's race, with Ross Chastain specifically, was crazy. First, Ross Chastain, Denny Hamlin, they were having a good little battle really early on in this race, and, you know, it was fun to watch. Then one of the turns, you know, Denny slips up a little bit, but Chastain just keeps on driving. He just, like, goes right through Denny, runs over Denny, completely throws him into the wall, and Chastain just looks like, what are you doing, Ross? And Denny smacks the wall. It ends his day, basically. You know, he was still able to finish the race, but he was, like, 11 laps down. And, you know, Denny Hamlin's like, all right, if that's how you want to play, let's go. And so Ross Chastain's coming around to lap Denny Hamlin later on in this race. And what happens? Well, Ross kind of knows that Denny's pissed off and he wants to do something, wreck him, put him in the wall, cut a tire. He doesn't know what, but he's pissed off. So Ross goes to the inside to pass Hamlin. Hamlin runs him down the track under the white line into the dirt, not literal dirt, but into the dust on the bottom of the track because no one drives down there. And Chastain gets past him, and everyone's like, "Ooh, okay, it's done. Nothing else." Not so fast, my friends. The next couple times that Chastain laps a very slow Hamlin, Hamlin starts locking the brakes up on him, slowing him down. And, you know, Chastain was in a close battle with Austin Cindric at one point, and then all of a sudden he's 5 seconds behind because Hamlin is slowing him down, blocking him, hitting the brakes, you know, just completely backing off in front of Chastain. It was crazy. Then later on, after a restart, Chastain, I'll admit this one wasn't completely his fault. I think Chase Elliott and then just the whole situation is a little bit at fault because it was 3 wide on the bottom with McDowell. I think it was McDowell. Chastain in the middle, Elliott on the outside, and they were just so tight, and it was coming to the exit of the corner. You got the wall there, so Elliott has to come down a little bit. Chastain goes up a little bit, and I think it was just poor timing, but Chastain spins out Elliott, and then Elliott's suddenly all pissed off at Chastain, and, you know, they're talking about how Chastain's a wrecking ball, and it's just getting way out of hand now. And so the next restart, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, they've had their problems in the past. Their fan bases don't like each other. They united today for the first time ever because Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin tag-teamed Ross Chastain. The following restart, all 3 of them were at the back of the field after repairing damages. Chase Elliott just absolutely rode the bumper of the one car, sent him up the track into the wall in turns 1 and 2. And then when he was coming back off the wall down the racetrack, Denny Hamlin doored him back into the wall. And, yeah, so then Denny Hamlin just kept locking the brakes up on him, slowing him down so he couldn't reach minimum speed. He did eventually reach minimum speed, but that was like one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. We've seen a lot of crazy rivalry stuff. We've seen Matt Kenseth take out Joey Logano. We've seen Chase Elliott cut Denny Hamlin's tire down. We have seen, you know, Chase Elliott slow down Kevin Harvick while he was leading the race. We've seen Joey Logano slow down Chase Elliott while he was leading the race. We've seen What else have we seen? Golly, we've seen a lot of things happen when it comes to payback, but this was like so bizarre because two guys were pissed off at the same guy and they tag teamed him. It was like, the fake wrestling, what's it called when you go high five the guy and then, they both body slam one person at once or something, or they pick him up and throw him with a chair. I don't know what the terms are, but it was like watching that. It was insane. It was crazy. I didn't know what to think at the time. I thought it was like some April Fool thing, but that was chaotic. That was fun to watch, though. As stupid as it was pretty fun to watch. Race control kept on getting on the radio with the 11, like, calm down. You better not do anything stupid. That better be it. That's your last warning. And then, like, he kept doing it, and race control just never did anything on it. So, yeah. Anyways, it stopped about halfway through the race, but it was kind of fun to watch. Then Denny Hamlin got into it with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Stenhouse had wrecked Bubba. And, of course, Denny Hamlin owns Bubba Wallace's car, and Stenhouse was right in front of Hamlin when he did this, and Hamlin came up and gave him a nice little shot on the bumper. So, yeah, Denny Hamlin, just not a great day. He was pretty upset with a few people. There were a lot of tempers that flared today. It was really like a short track kind of race, Track position was key. It was difficult to pass, but not impossible. You had a few lines going. We saw it there at the end with the top and the bottom. But we saw some 3, 4, 5 wide even at times racing. So it was actually outside of the chaos and the drama and the rivalries and the tempers and the tensions. It was a decent race, I would say. Not the greatest race by any means, but it was nowhere near a bad race. It was actually a pretty decent race, especially at the end there. You had a nice little battle for the lead with Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, and then, of course, they duke it out in overtime. But after the race, Ross Chastain took full responsibility for the incident, said he was driving like an idiot, basically, and said, I shouldn't be making those mistakes on the cup level. I'm sorry to all those guys. Like, I get what I deserve, basically. So next week, if Hamlin takes him out, he's basically saying, yeah, I know, I deserve that. So, big respect to Chastain. He acknowledges that he messed up, acknowledges that he ruined some people's days today. And he took full responsibility, which you don't see a lot of these days. So big respect to him for it. But the Hamlin incident was definitely all Ross Chastain. That's on Ross Chastain. Elliott won. I can't completely fault Chastain there. That's a racing thing, and it was just tight quarters and, difficult to pass right there and difficult to really give space. So I think that's on both parties there. But, I don't know. It's tough, but yeah, it seems like every time Chase Elliott's in the Hooters car, he always gets into some type of incident. 2017 with Hamlin at Phoenix, 2020 Homestead with Logano, 2021 Bristol with Harvick, and this year at Gateway with Chastain. So yeah, let's go through the finishing results. Second win of the year for Joey Logano. Yeah, he wins another inaugural event. I mean, he is really good at these first events here. A good solid day. He wasn't like the best car all day by any means. I mean, track position was key. I mean, Michael McDowell led like 30 laps. So if you were out front, you could lead. The clean air was very important by all means. Yeah, so, I mean, he had to fight very hard for it, but, it's not like he was up there all day fighting for the win, but he got himself in the right place. That team got themselves in the right place when they needed to. Took 2 tires late at the race. Logano drove amazing there at the end, drove cleanly, made a great move on Kyle Busch to get ahead of him on that restart, and then, forced Kyle Busch into a mistake a bit to get back in front of him. So Logano drove really good, especially those last 2 laps on that restart, and got himself a second win of the year. Kyle Busch finished his second. Could have been a win. Honestly, should have been a win. Really close there at the end, but just overdrove 3 and 4 with 2 to go. And has to settle for second place. Would have liked a second win this year. He's been running really well recently. A lot of top 5s, lots of laps led, running up towards the front, competing for wins. So JGR's looked really good as a whole the last few weeks, and they looked much better than Hendrick Motorsports today. But yeah, overall, a really good day for him. He led some laps today, finished up front. Good day for him. Third place, Kurt Busch, won a stage today, led some laps today, was in the top 5, top 10 most of the day. One of the best cars all day, I would say. So really good run for him. Really good run for 2311. Yeah, he looked really good today. 4th place, Ryan Blaney, a solid day for him. He was up in the top 5 all day long. Led a couple laps early on. Started up front. Ran up front all day long. I mean, probably one of the best performances all day by anyone as a whole. Not a lot of mistakes by that team, so a really good run for them. And obviously, as we saw this weekend, the Fords, Team Penske ran very well today. And follows up Logano, his teammates win with another top 5 finish. So Penske looking really good right now. 5th place, Eric Almirola, a solid day for SHR. Briscoe was on pole, led early on, but Almirola was up in the top 5, especially late in the race. Looked really good there. Solid day for him, especially he's in a tight points bubble for the playoffs, so he needed those points. I believe he got some stage points today, but a pretty solid result today. 6th place, Martin Truex Jr., whose future is undecided, apparently. We'll talk about that this week, I'm sure. But a good finish for him. He was leading late in this one before a couple cautions, pit strategy, got pinned into the wall on pit road. So he lost some positions there, but ends up 6th place. So not a bad day, but, if we keep on getting new winners, Truex is going to have to get a win. With road courses this summer, he's a great road racer. I expect Truex to get a win this year, but, a good result, 6th place. 7th place, Eric Jones, solid day for him, a good top 10. He was up in the top 5, top 10 late in this race. Led a couple laps, actually, on a restart, but a good top 10 finish. They've had some races this year that have gone wrong at the end where they've been in the top 5, top 10. They've had top 10 raw speed, but, they blow a tire late, they hit the wall late, someone crashes them late, just something goes wrong there at the end. And, they finally get that result. They've had a couple results this year, but there's a lot of results this year that have not shown how fast they've been, and this is one of them. A 7th place finish, very good. 8th place, oh boy, the controversy of the day. Ross Chastain, he ran into a few guys today, most notably Denny Hamlin, just threw him into the wall. Got held up by Hamlin. The bout got wrecked by Hamlin. Got thrown into the bottom of the track by Hamlin. I mean, he kind of deserved it, but, Chastain, what are you doing? But ends up with a top 10 finish. I thought he was going to win this thing today. Looked really good overall on the weekend. And also he had past experience at this track, so I thought maybe that could bode well for him. But good race for him. He might be in the points lead, actually, after how bad Chase Elliott did today. 9th place, Christopher Bell. Solid day for him. 10th place, AJ Allmendinger. For a guy who's never turned laps here prior to today, top 10's pretty good. Not bad, AJ Allmendinger. 11th place, Austin Cindric. Honestly, a pretty decent run. He was up in the top 10 a good chunk of the day. Just misses out on the top 10. Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman. Horrible day for Hendrick Motorsports. I think, they probably ran in the top 10 under 50 laps today. It was bad. Elliott was in the top 10 up until his crash. Larson and Bowman got up there for a bit. The only time Byron was up there was because of strategy. A day to forget for Hendrick Motorsports fans. 14th, Justin Haley. 15th, Austin Dillon. 16th, Tyler Reddick blew a tire late in this one. He had top 10 speed most of the day. Got some stage points, but 16th. In his Cup Series debut, Zane Smith with a 17th place finish. He beats the boss. Not bad for Zane Smith. 18th, Michael McDowell. He had good speed today. He had actually pretty decent speed today. Led a few laps, was up in the top 10 for a good chunk of the race. Got some stage points, I believe. I mean, he looked pretty good today. 18th for him. 19th, William Byron. 20th, Brad Keselowski. 21st, Chase Elliott. Had a lot of damage after that incident with Chastain. Had to get a lot of things taped up, a lot of things fixed. Just a rough day for them. 22nd, Todd Gilliland. 23rd, Daniel Suarez. 24th, Chase Briscoe. Started on pole, led the first 30 laps. Before blowing a tire, having to pit under green, going a lap down, had to try to get that lap back, but could never fully recover. 24th. 25th, Harrison Burton had a really good qualifying effort, qualified in the top 10, I think. And, bad day for him. 25th. 26th, Bubba Wallace. 27th, Ty Dillon. 28th, Josh Bilicki. 29th, Cole Custer. He's had a tough year. We'll talk about him later. 30th, BJ McLeod. 31st, Parker Kligerman. 32nd, Ricky Stenhouse. 33rd, Kevin Harvick took a hard hit. He was the reason that this race went to overtime, but he took a hard hit, and he looked a little bit shaken up leaving the car, so I hope he's okay. That did not look good, so hopefully he's okay. 34th, Denny Hamlin. We talked about him already. Was running in the top 6, top 7 when he got wrecked by Chastain, and he's not happy about it, understandably. But in his post-race interview, he was pretty good. I think, was pretty respectful, which I respect there. He said Chastain messed up for sure, but him owning up to it, that does mean something to him, but it doesn't, it doesn't fully make up for what happened on track today. So I thought Hamlin handled himself really well at the end there. Cody Ware, Corey LaJoie. That's your results of the first ever NASCAR Cup Series race at Gateway / WWT Raceway / St. Louis Worldwide Technology Raceway place thingy. But yeah, solid race. There was a lot of hype behind this event. Kenny Wallace got up there in the booth with Michael Waltrip, Mike Joy, and Clint Boyer. So that was fun to see. That was an interesting quadruple people. But yeah, overall fun race today. The rivalries, the drama made it really fun. The ending made it fun. But overall, it was a pretty decent race. There were times where it was like there wasn't a ton of passing going on, but you could pass. It was just very difficult, but not a home run, it's a grand slam out of the park race by any means. But the hype behind this weekend, the sold-out crowd, which was great to see. They got to cut back on the commercials, Fox. I don't get it. This is racing. There's something going on every lap. It's not like a football game where you got timeouts. You got the end of quarters. You got, punts and stuff that you can slip in a commercial. NASCAR, there's always something going on. The only time there should be full screen commercials is under caution. And the only time there should be commercials during green flags is if it's that split screen stuff, because I'm tired of missing cautions and passes for the lead because of stupid commercials. That's the end of that rant. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your night. Like, subscribe, share, despite my anger right there. I love NASCAR. It's just commercials are annoying.